And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the Esports World Cup 2024 America's Open Qualifier. Welcome to the Grand Finals, to the final series, the qualifying match of the Americas region. It's been a long event here. A lot of amazing players have risen and fallen, one after the other. We have lost players left and right, and now we're down to two. We're down to a Zerg and a Protoss, the best players in all of Canada. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Ghost River, we have the Canadian Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing Shopify Rebellion. It is Scarlett. And spawning in the top, going for a pool first, spawning in the 12 pool even, spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have her opponents. We have the Canadian Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing Basilisk. It is Trigger. And if you are in the chat, predictions are now open. Place your bets on who you think is going to make it through this qualifier. As a reminder, it's a best of five. Best of five, plenty of games ahead of us, plenty of matches to come. Predictions open. So best of luck with your gamba, with your predictions, as we are embracing the first game. As a reminder, it was a 12 pool opener out of Scarlett. We hide the drone moving out across the map, going for a proxy hatch across the map, already popping off in game one. The goal of this drone is to hatch block here at the entrance to try to reduce the surface area, try to create an awkward wall off here from Trigger. Let's see if we can pull this off. As Trigger does throw down the gateway, drone trying to poke in, trying to find its way in. Meanwhile, the probe across the map does get eyes on the pool. Lings are on the way. We're flooding links across the map. We do wall up. We do manage to throw down that hatchery just barely in position. And again, it does create a much more awkward wall off. Ideally, this cybercore would have been a little bit more on the right-hand side. Likewise, Zelda is on the way. And this also does kind of create a bit of an awkward position here for Trigger, as he's going to have a hard time positioning his Zealot to actually keep these gateways alive. As the links have arrived. So far, boys being pulled. You can see Scarlett going straight for the gateway. And essentially, these four lings are safe and sound. These four lings, they can chip away the gateway to their heart's content. And there's not much that can be done about it. As again, we do have those four lings. At the same time, we do see a Trigger. I mean, one of these things hasn't been getting as much DPS, unfortunately. It looks like it was on A move. Yeah, the ling was on A move. Zealots are going to be poking forward. Can we get us around? We can. Nice hold position, Michael, with the probes. Very nice hold position. And the Zealots, they're going to be barely shut down, but the Adept has arrived, and we are saving the gateway. The gateway is safe. Lings are forced back, and Trigger is holding. Hatchery does complete. More workers have arrived. And we're here to throw down spine crawlers, I imagine. Yeah, there we go. The spine rush has begun. Lings are zoning away the Adepts, going for the Stalker. First spine is cancelled. Oof. And I'm not sure if we can really get this going. More boys have arrived. We have a shield battery. We have it. Not an overcharge, but a shield battery at least behind this. And we're cleaning this up. Yeah, one after the other. Spine crawlers are being completely shut down. The Lings, they do come in first round, but we have the boys. We have the shield battery. And that's another cancel. There's one spine crawler left. It will finish, though. It will barely complete, or will it? Okay, we have two Stalkers. Spine crawler does finish. We're going to try and break through. Shield battery does run out of energy, but we have a second, a third, a fourth shield battery on the way. So many shield batteries behind this. The spine crawler barely does waddle away. We have two more on the way behind this as well. We're completely all in. Yeah, there's no turning back from this. Scarlett completely all in at this point. More spine crawlers just slowly pushing forward. We get some good hits off. We take down an Adept. Not bad. Adept does fall. As Trigger pulls back. Now we get a Robo in the main. Backup gateway. First gateway finally falls, but we get the Queen. The Queen is sniped. But we don't quite get the spine crawler. But again, two of these spine crawlers are so low. It doesn't feel like there's that much DPS left here. Outside of the Lings, of course. That's a lot of Lings. We're looking for a surround. Spine crawlers are repositioning. The hatchery under fire. The Queen did spread creep. So we can maintain this position, even without the hatchery. 3 shots going up. Do pick away at those Lings. Hatchery is going to go down, but we bring down another gateway. Thankfully, we have a backup gateway in the main. We have a backup gateway. Warp gate is done. Wait, is it? No, never mind. Sorry, warp gate has not been researched. So we have to make units one at a time. Lings are coming in for us. We force a recall. We do barely force the recall. Spine Crawlers taking advantage of the low ground. There's the Artosis Pylon. Just one pylon powering everything. And the pylon can be targeted. We're going for the Cybercore. Stalkers, they do trade with the Lings. Cybercore will fall. Has to be rebuilt. And Lings are waddling into the main. Well, we do have a backup shield battery and an overcharge. Yeah, overcharge just popped. And nothing should die here. We maintain the Stalkers to maintain the Adepts. And the Lings are being cleaned up. The overcharge is just too good. We shut down every single Ling. We barely get out. GG gets called, Trigger holds, and Trigger takes game number 1. GG. GG, well played. Trigger will hold. And with that, Trigger takes a lead. Does take a lead here. As we're settling into our next game. Getting ready for game number 2. Normally, which race is favored on this map? So we didn't even get to talk about the map itself. The map is known for its aggression. The map does favor all-ins and aggressive styles. And clearly, Scarlett did try to be a little bit cheeky here. Bearing in mind that vetoes are limited in a best of 5. Vetoes are limited. And yeah, Scarlett decided to spice things up with a 12 pool. And I expect another all-in in game 2. I do expect an all-in here because game 2 is on Dynasty. Dynasty also known for its all-in, specifically from the Zerg side. This is a little bit more clear-cut when it comes to favored races. Normally this map is vetoed. Protoss is favored on Dynasty. And the reason for that is because of the goal base. You can embrace the goal base that much easier on this map. Usually Zerg players go for Roach all-ins to try to avoid the mid-game and avoid the late game. So we'll see how Scarlett opens up, and we'll see how aggressive we want to be. I imagine we want to take the proxy gold. We want to proxy our hatchery. I say proxy, just go rush into the goal base on the other side and embrace roaches, but we'll see. We shall see. Spawning in the top right-hand corner of Dynasty, we have our Canadian Zerg player, the Red Zerg representing Shopify Rebellion down in this series. We'll see if we can bounce back. It is Scarlett. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have, yep, Scarlett, she's going for the proxy, going for the all-in. In the bottom left-hand corner, we have the Canadian Protoss player representing Basilisk. It is Trigger. Now, if you've been watching World Team League over the past couple of months, then you would be aware of this build. We're going for the gold. We're going for the gold based on the other side of the minerals. The reason why I say World Team League is because you rarely see this map in series, just because it is often vetoed. World Team League, there are no vetoes, so we force Dynasty more often than not, and Trigger is scouting. I mentioned before, if we can call this build out of Scarlett, Trigger can as well, and Trigger, he immediately heads over towards the goal base, and we'll get eyes on the would-be hatchery. So nice scout here out of Trigger. Trigger will have the forewarning of the proxy hatchery. Now, the way this works is the reason why you take this gold-based location, or this gold, is because of the Rich Festing Gas Geyser and the gold minerals. You can take advantage of both. Cannon Rush. We're going for the Cannon Rush to punish this build. We see this a lot on Alkione. If you watch Hero versus Dark or Hero or Classic versus Dark, a lot of the Korean Protosses, they respond with a Cannon Rush if the Zerg player goes for the gold. Specifically on Alkione, we can see it here on Dynasty as well. So we're responding with a Cannon Rush. Pylon is done. Cannon should be on the way. Scarlett has no vision, has no eyes on this. Overlord is getting in position, and the cannons should soon be upon us. There we go. Cannons are on the way. So very good reaction here by Trigger. Now here comes the Maynard to saturate the gold, and we do get eyes on the cannons. Can Scarlett deny this? As the cannons, they're within range of the hatchery, and yeah, they're going to be able to finish. Roach Warren's on the way. We spoke about it. I said how Scarlett was getting ready for an all-in. With this Rich Festing Gas Geyser and these gold minerals, it does lend towards a Roach all-in. Roach Warren's already on the way. And, ooh, is the cannon within range of the Gas Geyser? That's what I'm curious about. We're within range of the hatchery, but this northern cannon, I'm curious if we can deny mining. It's going to be close. It's going to be close whether or not we can. Meanwhile, Scarlett taking the third. At the same time, Trigger expanding, taking the gold. Is working towards the gold. hatchery under a lot of fire. Roaches are on the way. The cannon is going for the hatchery itself, so it looks like we can't quite punish any mining here. Hatchery taking a lot of hits. With the help of these roaches, can we hold on? It's going to be close. It's going to be very close. Do we target down the hatchery even if the roaches get within range? Scarlett unable to engage though, not against 3 cannons. And that's going to be a kill on the hatchery. Third base goes down. So far the cannon rush was worth it. And back at home, Trigger is working towards his own economy. Now, the reason why roach play is so common on this map, so you can punish the gold of the Protoss. You can try to punish the gold base of the Protoss player with Roach Ravager. So Scarlett can likewise counterattack and try to shut it down. Meanwhile, the cannon's going to be cleaned up first. This tells us that Scarlett most likely wants to re-expand here and won't be able to with these cannons, so we'll first shut them down. Meanwhile, Trigger going for a Stargate follow-up. Most likely Void Rays. We'll see. We'll see if we go for Oracle or Void Ray first. As we clean up all the cannons, we shut down the pylon. At the same time, Trigger will probe scout to confirm that Scarlett has re-expanded. Or has taken the regular natural base. And now without those cannons, Scarlett can try to go for the gold again. Meanwhile, you can see the Roach Ravager poised to head towards that gold base. Oracle is on the way. It's going to be an Oracle first, not a Void Ray. It is going to be the Oracle first here. Out of Trigger. And with this Oracle, we can focus on the Ravager. This one Ravager can't really pose too much of a threat. Scarlett taking the regular third. And we're going to be able to bile. Good reaction out of Trigger. Does pull away. Oracle has arrived, and we focus down the first Ravager. No economic damage done. Well, no economic damage dealt. Just some lost mining time. Do you have another Ravager rallied in? I love that we're just kind of rallying Ravager after Ravager across the map. Just to get damage done. All it takes is one Ravager. But there's that Void Ray that we spoke about. So Oracle into Void Ray. Trigger checking the bases. Checking the expansions. Oh! Ooh, Bile connects! Takes down 2 probes. Very nice. Trigger was distracted, focusing on the Oracle control. To shut down those probes. Void Ray has arrived. We'll clean up the Ravager. Trigger can get back into mining. Back into his economy. And is taking his third. And Trigger working towards +1 and Blink. And so far, kind of the aggression that Scarlett wanted to go for early on isn't really there anymore. Scarlett is resaturating, redroning, trying to stabilize, trying to catch up. Trigger is ahead economically. You can see Trigger with 53 probes against the 45 workers of Scarlett. So at the moment, Trigger is outscaling Scarlett. We can bounce back with the gold. Bearing in mind that Trigger has the gold base himself. That's why he has such a boosted economy. Roaches have arrived. They can try to punish this again. So important, time and time again, for Scarlett to try and deny mining as often as possible. For as long as she can. Oracles and Void Rays do respond. Oh! Ooh, getting a probe. One probe does go down. And behind the Scarlett working towards Hydras. Hydra Den has been thrown down. Again, we're trying to retake the gold. But Trigger, I believe, saw it. Yeah, Trigger saw it, and now we can move out. We can try to punish the gold base. It is risky, but thankfully for Trigger, there's no links. There are no links here for Scarlett, so these Stalkers are really prone to getting surrounded. We can push in, and even without Blink, we can still maintain ourselves. Blink is on the way. Gateway Explosion as well. No gases at the third. Only 1 gas at the third. What does this look like? A 3-base all-in. It looks like an 8-gate 3-base all-in out of Trigger. Yeah, 4 gateways already done. 4 more gates on the way. We have our proxy pylon to throw down a proxy gateway. So Trigger is going for a mass Blink Stalker all-in. And Scarlett is in a bit of trouble here. Trigger is going to be committed. Again, just pure Stalker. +1 is done. And without links, these roaches are vulnerable. Yeah, again, Trigger knows he has momentum. So getting a lead early on, then following it up with an all-in does make plenty of sense. Roaches are going down. We're trying to build up the Hydra count. We have 12 more links on the way. Ducklings speed, and here come the reinforcements. Again, we can warp in 8 Stalkers at a time. And with good enough control, Trigger should be able to overwhelm and preserve these Stalkers. Oh, we do bleed off 1 Stalker. 1 Stalker goes down. See the Stalkers getting low. Breaking through the roaches. As the roach count gets lower, as the queens get lower, we're getting on top of the hydras. Again, so important that we have some kind of buffer here for the hydras to protect them. Once the hydras start falling, that's going to be the end of the game. As Trigger pushing in, has the concave, breaking through the queens. The vials do not connect. And now the hydras are exposed. And we spoke about it. We're getting onto the juicy center of this army, and Scarlett is in trouble. She's being broken. Yeah, Trigger snowballing out of control. We break through the defensive line. We get on top of the hydras. And with that, Trigger should have enough. Attention is being split at the goal base. And we just blink on forward. We blink on forward. We focus on the hydras. GG gets called, and Trigger takes a 2-0 lead. 1 game away from qualifying. GG. GG, well played. Again, a very, very solid response out of Trigger. More than anything, this game shows us that Trigger is very familiar with Scarlett's playstyle. Scarlett is very prone to going for that kind of setup on Dynasty. We spoke about it. We've seen it a lot in WTL, in World Team League, and likewise in other events as well. Scarlett's quite fond of that build, and Trigger completely shut it down with the cannon rush into the 3-base all-in after taking economic advantage with the Oracle and Void Rays to maintain map control, to maintain the goal base of Trigger. And again, that 3-base all-in hits like a truck, especially when you're ahead like that. Right, like it's not like that 8K 3-base all-in wins you the game all the time. Like, no, like you can maintain yourself and keep up and focus down reinforcements and shut down the proxy. But again, because of the earlier deficit from Scarlett, that's why she wasn't in the best position to defend against that. Scarlett was still trying to stabilize while Trigger snowballed out of control. And now we're getting ready for Game 3. And now we're going to be able to embrace a much more standard game. Now, because of the map order so far, we had Ghost River and we had Dynasty. 2 maps that are known for aggression and known for, like, you know, all-ins and committed play, which is what we saw at Scarlett. Didn't quite work out. Now we're loading into Alcyone, a much more larger, macro-oriented map. This is the opportunity for Scarlett to be a little bit more comfortable. You get into 3 bases, get into 4 bases, and work towards Hydra Lurker Viper. Work towards a much more solid composition and toward the mid-game. So we should be seeing a more back and forth standard game here between these 2 players in Game 3, but we'll see because the pressure is on. As spawning in the top right-hand corner of Alcyone, we have our Canadian Protoss player leading the series 2-0. 1 more game, and we'll have our qualified player. Unomas is all we need. Representing Basilisk, it is a Trigger. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Canadian Zerg player. The pressure is on. We've been struggling so far in this series by being aggressive. Now we can embrace something a little bit different, something more macro-oriented. Can we bounce back? The pressure is on. She needs your support in the chat. Representing Shopify Rebellion, it is Scarlett. And are we going for the gold? We are. Oh, okay, we'll go. Oh, calm down. For a moment there, you saw that the drone was rallied towards the right-hand side. I was concerned we were going to be taking the mining through the mineral patch and going for the gold base. No, we're going for a standard expansion. Okay, we're calming down. Calming things down. Going for a hatch gas pool here from Scarlett. Getting to a standard opener. Likewise, Trigger also going for a gate expand. Probe Scout does confirm the location of the hatchery, so Trigger knows that we don't have the gold. And we're calming things down. Entering a much more stable early game. The most stable one that we've had all series long. Here we go. Micro battle against Trigger. Yeah, true. Trigger does have is known for his control. Known for his micro potential. Which is ideal as a Protoss player, right? With your Blink Stalkers, with your positional play. Did come into play in Game 1. As Trigger made sure he did not get surrounded by the Lings. But again, loading into Alcyone, we should be working towards like a 3-base setup, Hydras, Hive Tech. We could try and see some more aggressive styles on this map, but it's not really seen too often. The reason for that, I mean, there's a couple of reasons. The rush distance by ground is far longer. It's far longer. There are a lot more bases to be taken. The base setup as well is quite defendable. You have a ramp coming into the 3rd base, so it can be difficult to really push up that upset ramp. Likewise, there's Zelnaga. that does cover the main attack path, so if you control the Zelnaga, you can spot a move out coming well ahead of time and spot an all-in. Likewise, the 4th base is secure, as it's also quite awkward to push towards the right-hand side just because you have to mine through minerals or break down rocks. Which is why, on this map, we often do see split map scenarios. 4, 5, 6 bases is a lot more common here on Alkyone. I'm getting a bit ahead of myself. I'm already assuming like, oh, we can calm down, we can settle in. I mean, there's a high chance of that happening, but we'll see. It comes down to our players. Comes down to how we open up. Right now, Trigger has a lot of freedom, has a lot of leeway in this series. Trigger needs one more win, so we could actually see Trigger be the aggressor instead. What I'm referring to, for now, it's a Stargate opener into Oracles, true, but Trigger could go into a 3rd base and could throw down a very fast Twilight Council and go into Glaive Adepts. Glaive Adepts are still a viable follow-up here, even after taking the 3rd base, which could catch the Zerg player off guard, especially if Scarlett skips Roaches. Meanwhile, Adepts stay shade in, they get 2 drones so far. Not a bad start. Not bad, but we're hoping for more damage. Ooh, as the first Adept is focused down, and Scarlett does defend. Scarlett holds, Scarlett defends, Link Speed kicks in. Moving out across the map, the Oracle is in position, and the Lings are fended off. 3rd base is on the way. Adept does make it back home. It's only 1 Adept. Usually we have 2 to defend, but 1 of them was just killed. So the Adept is vulnerable. But nice SimCity here. We do wall up. And the Adept trades as efficiently as possible. At the same time, the Oracle gets across the map. We get 1 drone. Just the 1. Just the 1 worker. Lings are forced back. Trigger holds. And Scarlett is droning. Scarlett taking a 3rd base, droning up. I think I've never seen Gold First win a game on this map. Oh, watch Dark and Shin. They're animals. They are animals. But yeah, they're something else. Very aggressive Korean players. Meanwhile, there is the Twilight Council. Remember what we spoke about? We spoke about how we could be seeing a Twilight Council after the Stargate before the 3rd finishes, and with this Gateway Explosion, this does look like Glaive Adepts. This looks like Glaives, and I'm a little bit concerned if it is. I'm concerned for Scarlett. Show us the upgrade of choice. Ooh, charge! Okay, that I was not expecting. So we're going for charge and we're going for additional gateways. Usually this would be 4-gate Glaive Adepts, but this is going to be 6-gate charge. Now, this is a very early charge timing, and what I'm concerned about as well, we're getting 9, 10 drone, 11 drone kills. Oh my god. 11, 12 workers go down. Very nice damage with the Oracles, both of them to escape. And what I'm concerned about for Scarlett, do you see what I see? I see no Roach Warren. Okay, now it's on the way. Whew. Now we get the Roach Warren on the way, so we're getting into safety Roaches. If we skipped Roaches and if we went straight into Ling Hydra, then Scarlett could just die. And even then, like, this follow-up push is going to be brutal. First, we're harassing with Vanilla Adepts, and we're following this up with even more gateways. Ooh, that is an 8-gate setup. This is very committed. No gases at the 3rd, only 1 gas at the natural. We're going to be warping in a massive amount of Zealots, and we're going to hit a very strong timing with charge. Very strong charge timing. Adepts a shade into the 3rd base. Drones are still going down. We get 8 worker kills. Ay, ay, ay. I'm afraid to look, but it was 23 workers. 23 drones go down. Scarlett is now vulnerable to an all-in. We spoke about this in the previous game where Trigger got ahead early on and went into a 3-base 8-gate all-in. Now it's once again a 3-base 8-gate all-in, but this time with charge, and Scarlett is not ready for this. Again, right now we're redroning, we're resaturating our bases. A couple of Roaches are on the way, but it's not going to be enough. As Zealots have hit the field, headed for the 3rd. Can we minimize our losses? Can we defend? Back in the SimCity setup from Scarlett. Zealots, they dive in. The Oracles, they come in to support. They focus down. They try to focus down the Queens. More Zealots have arrived, and we're going for the Queens. Yeah, GG gets called. It's just too much to handle, and Trigger will take the series 3-0, qualifying for the Esports World Cup closed qualifier. GG. GG, well played. Trigger was completely in control of that game. He killed 23 workers in the lead up to the all-in. Just popped off, snowballed out of control, getting what was that, 23 workers with Adeptoras, with Oracle Crash just pulling Scarlett apart, and Scarlett could not keep up, could not handle the aggression, was droning, had a low link count and low roach count, which is why the Adepts got so out of hand, and we followed it up with the all-in. Scarlett was trying to get into a longer game, was being greedy, was droning, was working towards a 4th base, but in came the charge timing. And alas, Scarlett could not keep up with that, could not defend against that, and congratulations to Trigger. A very dominant performance. Initially, in Game 1 and Game 2, Scarlett was the aggressor. But she got shut down with the 12 pool, with the goal base. Here in Game 3, Scarlett wasn't the aggressor. Scarlett was trying to drone. Scarlett was trying to work towards a longer game, and we spoke about it, how Game 3 was a really nice opportunity for Trigger to be the aggressor instead, as Trigger was able to get into his own, was able to pull Scarlett apart and then get into his own charge timing. Really committed style there out of Trigger. Very committed. But had the freedom to do so, as Trigger had a lead in the series, so Trigger could afford to take that chance and take that risk, and it worked out beautifully. So congratulations here to Trigger, is going to be our America's representative for the closed qualifier. Exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the bracket yourselves. Let's catch up on what has been going on and catch up on who will take part in the closed qualifier. Here we go. Exclamation mark B if you guys want to have a look at the Wikipedia page yourself. We've been, there's our name. We've been covering the qualifiers for these past couple of days, and we have all of our players. Okay, this is the closed qualifier. From the Korean qualifier, we had Stats, we had Bunny, and we had Shin. 1 Korean player from each race. Protoss, Terran, and Zerg. The balance might be the balance. From the European qualifiers, we have Showtime, Alazer, and Lambo. We had 2 Zerg players and a Protoss make it through the European qualifiers. From the Asia qualifier, we had Firefly, repping, of course, the Protoss race. And in the Americas qualifier, we have Trigger as well, also repping that Protoss. If you're curious, where are the Terrans? They're all invited. Hero Marine, Spirit, Clem, already invited into the main event. Likewise, so is Maru, so is Bjorn, I believe, and many of the other Korean Terrans are all invited into the main event as well. Oliveira is also in the main event. So a lot of the Korean, I think there's 9 Koreans, right? I think there's 9 Koreans already in the main event. So plenty of Terran representation in the main event. Less so here in the qualifier, as they already made it in. They don't need to qualify. Just Bunny, the lone Terran. And yeah, this is going to be the lineup here for the closed qualifier. This is going to be taking place tomorrow, I believe. It is going to be taking place tomorrow. And yeah, tomorrow is a closed qualifier. You can see the brackets. iScar is notifying us that this bracket is soon to be seeded. It's soon to be seeded in. You can see here it's in 12 hours time. 12 hours, oh my god. Not too long at all. So in 12 hours time, midnight here in Australia, is going to be the closed qualifier. The bracket will soon be announced. The admins, I believe, are going to be seeding the bracket and constructing it as we speak, and it will be announced on social media momentarily. I say momentarily, over the next couple of hours. In the next couple of hours, expect the bracket to go live, and then it's going to be covered in half a day. We won't be casting it. I don't know who is, but the closed qualifier is cut off from community casters. So ourselves, Rotterdam, Steadfast, we're all a little bit in the dark. I'm sure the main casters have already been messaged and have already been invited in. We just don't know who it is. So shout out to whoever it's going to be. I believe it's going to be on the main EWC channel. I'm sure there's going to be an Esports World Cup Twitch channel, and they're going to be covering it there, with their own production team and all that stuff. So I'm sure they're getting ready for the event in 12 hours time. And from my understanding, I think the whole thing is in 1 day, which is insane. That's a lot of matches. Is it a 1 day or 2 day event? Let's see. Okay. It looks like a 2-day event. From my understanding, at the top of the Wikipedia page, it does say a 2-day event. So Saturday and Sunday. Saturday for the first half and Sunday for the second half. They might do the upper half in day 1, the upper half of the bracket, and maybe the lower half in day 2, or they might do all of round 1 and round 2, and then round 3 here for day 1. It's uncertain how they're gonna split it up, but hopefully they cast everything. Hopefully they cover every single match, because they all deserve to be casted. So yeah, check it out. Keep an eye on social media for any news about the Twitch channel, any news about the stream, any news about the coverage. do keep an eye out for all of that. And yeah, we're gonna be done. We're gonna be wrapping up here for the day. I say we're going to be done. We're going to be wrapping up for now. We're going to be going on a short break, an hour and a half, and then we'll be back with KSL. The Korean StarCraft League is in 1 hour and 30 minutes. I'm going to quickly guess. I'm starving. I'm going to get some food. An hour and a half should be enough to get some ramen. I'll boil some water. I'll make some ramen. We'll get some noodles inside us, and then we're going to be jumping in for some Korean StarCraft. For those that are curious, what is the KSL? The KSL is the Korean StarCraft League. The Korean StarCraft League, it is a bi-weekly Korean only tournament. Is a bi-weekly open tournament, usually dominated by the Koreans, as it is meant for Koreans by Koreans. If you want to support the KSL, there is a Patreon for the KSL as well, if you want to support it. And it's not just going to be us covering it. Dave Testa, Chicken Man, sometimes Steadfast, sometimes Beomorph, sometimes some other casters as well do jump into KSL. So I'm sure there's going to be plenty of coverage. And again, it's in 1.5 hours. I'm pretty well rested. Like I'm good. I'm good to keep going. So I'm more than happy to just quickly get some food and then jump in for another cast. The stream is going to go down. Technically, I could put the stream on an hour break. True, but it's fine. it's okay. It's okay. Well, I mean, we need to turn the stream off anyway because no delay. There's no delay for KSL. So I have to turn the delay off anyway. So the stream is going to go down. It'll be back up in an hour or so, in an hour and 15 minutes. And we'll be live with some more StarCraft. So if you're still not satiated, if you still want some more StarCraft inside you, if you crave that Korean on Korean action, we got you covered in an hour. We got you covered. Just catching up in the chat. I'm catching up in the chat. Goddamn trigger, no chill. No chill, Babby, no chill. KSL time, exactly. So with that, thanks for watching, thanks for the support, we do appreciate it. If you maybe are going to bed, I know it's quite late in the Americas, so if you're going to go and get some rest, I do understand. Rest up and be ready to indulge and embrace the closed qualifier in 12 hours. Otherwise, if you're going to stay up a little bit longer, I know it's late in Europe as well. I know it's very late in Europe. So if you're going to bed, take care. If you're staying up, KSL. We got the KSL for you. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Discord. ! Socials in the chat if you want to follow us. We're also streaming on YouTube at the same time, so if you want some of those VODs are available instantly on YouTube under the live tab, so we got you covered with VOD content over on YouTube. Otherwise, you can support us elsewhere. You can subscribe on Twitch. You can check out our Patreon if you're curious what our Patreon is for. We do host our own tournaments, and our Patreon is constructed in a way to support those tournaments and to help build them up, to help grow them, to help make them flourish as well. So shout out to all the patrons, to the patrons that we have. We've been getting a lot of patrons over the past couple of months. Thank you so much. This year specifically, we've gotten a lot more support, and you can see our goal. You can see just under Trigger's name our current the amount that we get monthly on Patreon and what our goal is, and we're almost there. That's to help boost the prize pool and eventually to help pay out more players. Currently our tournaments are top 2. Our tournaments are very top heavy at the moment, just because that's just how it's set up. We don't really have it's like $50 split between top 2, but if we do get more support, then we can boost the prize pool and pay out top 4. That'd be amazing if we can spread the love and support more players. If you're interested, Patreon is there. Otherwise, be sure to tune into the main event, Esports World Cup. It's next month. This week is the qualifiers, yes, but next month is the main event. It is the World Finals for StarCraft. We have yet to crown a champion. Oliveira is still technically the world champion. He still has not been dethroned, and that has to be done over in the Esports World Cup. So check it out. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be beautiful. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Thanks so much for the support. We'll see you guys next time. Bye. See you in an hour. Hasta luego.